Alright, hey guys. So for today, I am finally doing a head shave. It's quite a bit of growth, um, kind of unintentional. My last head shave, I nicked the top of my head. Uh, it didn't even really bleed, but it has a pretty big scab, so I've been trying to let it heal. It's been about 4 or 5 days now, I think. Um, I could be a little off on that. I think the last head shave I did was Saturday, and it's Thursday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I don't know. I think I'm at like 5 days hair growth right now, and I don't know. I'm at that stage where it looks kind of, to me, a little awkward growing it out, and I started to think about actually letting it grow out even further, but I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling like a head shave right now. Um, my last video, I did a quick little basically neck cleanup. Still really haven't lined up the top yet, and I think I'm going to do another neck cleanup on this video as well. I think I'm going to bring this line a little, just a tad bit higher right here, just a little bit up there, and yeah, I think I'm going to cut the head. We'll see, but for sure I'm going to do a neck cleanup right now, and on that we'll decide if we want to do the head or not. I still have a little scab right here, but I don't know, man. It's just kind of annoying. I feel like the way it looks, um, and maybe it's just because I'm used to having a shaved head now with a little bit of facial hair. I feel like it looks kind of weird with my hair at this height. Um, I think it would look better longer, but it's just that, awkward stage. It's like when you start growing out your beard, you have a really weird, awkward stage. But anyways, into the shave. So I said it on my last video, I'm done using the Declaration Grooming stack for spring summer, and now I'm on Zingari, man. I can't remember if I've used this one on video or not before, but it's going to be number 1, and it's by Byron Perfumery, and it is a banger. This is Matching Splash, one of my favorite rose scents in the game. Um, I have a lot of incredible rose scents, so it's hard for me to say that this is my favorite. Another one that's really good off the top of my head. It's not made anymore though, but I have like 2 or 3 backups of it because I like it so much. Is Lisa from Bear Stearns Man. I really enjoy that one too. I know it's like polarizing. A lot of people didn't like it. Another one off the top of my head from is Pomp from Grooming Department, which is now I think called Aeon Skincare. Um, yeah, I think it's called Aeon Skincare now. But when I bought Pomp, it was Grooming Department. And it says Grooming Department on the tub. Uh, those are great rose scents. But this one is really nice. This one, it's not a realistic rose to me. It's more of a perfume rose, which is nice. But I've also noticed that some soaps, they have more of that realistic rose. So it depends on what you're looking for. But I don't think there's anybody out there that would use number 1 from Zingari Man and say, hey, I hate it. It's disgusting. I think it's a crowd pleaser. I think everybody will like it. You might not love it, but I think everybody will like it. It's good enough that I also have the matching EDP of it. And of course, I do have a backup of this. I bought this tub used. That's why you can see maybe the thing's a little messed up. I have it blooming over here because it is a harder puck. And you can see on this side it's fairly low. Once it gets a little lower than this, I think I'm going to combine it with my other tub, just so that way one less tub in the backup. For today, we're going to keep going with the Diamondback Ti. I've been just really enjoying it, to be honest. It's pretty damn efficient, and it's just super smooth. And on my last video, it worked better than any other razor I've used on my neck for a neck cleanup, but I also did use the PAA Cube as a pre-shave, and I haven't done that with any other razors, so not sure if it's the Diamondback or that pre-shave, maybe a little mixture of the two. And the brush that we're going to be using today that I have soaking over here is going to be this beautiful Declaration Grooming B15. I used the B15 Spooky on my last video. This one is going to be called Somber Hour. And it's like a really gorgeous gold with like blue, and it's not really green. Green is more of the Magic Hour pour, which is like kind of like a hues of green and gold. This one is very similar to Magic Hour, but instead of it green, it's more like a blue. Now this one, it's not the prettiest, and I've often thought about seeking another B15 with this pour, just because I like this pour so much, and I love B15. Just because you can see here, see how it's like, there's like a line that's like washed out, right? And then you can see, I don't mind the swirls. The swirls are kind of cool. But technically, that part is what you want the whole pour to look like. Where it has those waves, you can see the gold and blue hues. And then this part is just washed out, like. And what I've noticed is a lot of the Somber Hour pours that I've seen in the wild, with, you know, depending on what knot they have in it, a lot of them are washed out like that. And I really hate when artisans do that. I've seen Declaration Grooming Scott do it a couple times. Like this handle to me should have never been sold like that. And yeah, I did buy it used. But when I bought it, to be honest, I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I didn't see the whole brush. I should have asked for a video. I only saw a photo of like that. So I was like, oh, it's just going to be a little bit maybe on this side. I didn't think it was going to go all the way around. But still a great looking pour nonetheless, even with that. I still really like the pour a lot. Again, it might sound stupid to some people, but I've thought about seeking another handle that looks better than this in Somber Hour with a B15, and then just sell this one for uber cheap. We're going to dump that out, and we're going to load the brush. And some people might think that's a little excessive, like, oh, you already have it, like, but it kind of just goes back to some of my philosophies with things. Like, I want the best of the best, and that doesn't mean always the most expensive. Some people think that means like, oh, you got to spend a lot of money, but like, I don't know, I feel like if I have a B15 Somber Hour, I want it to be like the best looking Somber Hour pour I can find. And, you know, the same thing with the knot. If I have a B15 knot, I want it to be a really nice B15 knot, because some knots are a little inconsistent. And I've been lucky that all my B15 knots are quite good, if I do say so myself. I know a lot of people don't like B15s. I love them. And this one, this B15 knot might be my best out of the three I own. But it also has the most uses. The spooky one I had in my video yesterday, I bought that brand new. This one I bought used, and it was, the guy told me it was pretty good used, like he used it quite often. Now we're just going to take some of that pro lather out, get it on there. I did take out the PAA Cube today. I decided I don't want to use it on my neck though, because I kind of want to see how this blade does without the PAA Cube. Slash, I took it out in case I wanted it, if I do want to do a head shave. And my third B15, which maybe I'll use on the next shade, is going to be a cotton candy pour, which is great. It's blue, bright pink, really cool, unique pour. Just washing that out a little bit. But, and that one is fairly, was fairly new. I bought it used, but the guy said he only used it like twice. Just decided he didn't like B15 and sold it. Again, I love B15 a lot. And we're going straight in. Ooh. Again, this probably would have been better if I just do my neck. If I would have bow lathered to build the lather. Because I really don't need lather all the way down here, to be honest. But this lather is already looking great to me. And I'm just taking some of that lather off in places that I really don't need it. Dipping it in. And let's see what we have. And the smell on this is great. It's a decently strong rose too, which I like. And I'm just slowly kind of working that line up a little bit higher, because I do think it needs to go up a little bit more. You know, I see a lot of guys when they shave, they like cut into this area. You don't want to do that. You don't, you know, I guess if you're going for like the jaw strap or bootstrap beard, that's fine. But realistically, you just want, when you look straight ahead, that you can't see any hair. And, you know, put your finger there and cut any hair. And that one is pretty good. We're almost there. And there's nothing wrong with just going in small increments. Like if it takes you 2 or 3 days even to get that line right, that's better than going way too high. There we go. I think that is going to be my line for today. Well, let's just get some water, re-agitate. Scent strength on number one, to me personally, is probably about a 6. It's not super strong. You know, I don't think I've smelled too many roses that are, so that's probably just a rose thing, to be honest. Oh man, but yeah, it's great. Like I can smell it even right now. So far, shave is going great, even without that PAA cube. I always struggle right on my Adam's apple with going across the grain. What I've learned to try to do is like basically pull the skin to the left and right so that way you're doing it more on a flat surface. But to be honest with you, when you're using really slick soaps like Zingari, man, it's hard because I can barely uh, grip the skin because it's so slick. And not too bad. Third pass. That needs a little bit more agua. Hopefully you guys can't hear that background noise too much. That's my washer going. I know it's not super great to do wash as you're videotaping, but it's RV life for you. Right. That is a good close shave, people. And it still might be a little too high, or should I say low. I still might need to bring that line up a little bit more. In the camera, it doesn't look bad, but when I'm looking in the mirror that I have in front of me, I can see just a little bit of hair down here. And we do have a couple of nicks. Nothing big, but we do have one or two little tiny ones right here. And you know what? We're going to go straight in do we want to cut the hair or not, people? Dang, okay. Then I'm letting it bleed out a little bit. Yeah, I got like 1 or 2 or 3 little nicks. But I didn't feel anything. And all those nicks are at the new line. So that's where all the longer hair was. And that, you know, I don't know. I guess maybe I should have also, I could have trimmed down the hairs a little bit more first. But yeah, we're going to go straight into the head shave now. Getting some more agua. You can see, obviously, I do have quite a bit of growth. Which anybody that has ever shaved with some growth will tell you it's definitely harder to build a lather with hair. And I'm not really sure why that is. I just know that that's a real thing. And man, B15 is great. Like, the knot is, it reminds me of like B14, B16 with it being very cloud-like. But then, I don't know, it's just you get this really beautiful, like, soft scrub with it as well that I just enjoy. And that's why I like B15, because you get like this cloud-like feel, but you also get like a soft scrub. I forgot to say, it's a Nacet in here, and same Nacet I used in the last video, so it's like at 3 or 4 uses. And this is going to really test this razor out. And yeah, I guess maybe for something like this I should have done a brand new blade. And you can just see it crushing the hair off. It's still being pretty damn smooth for having like 4 or 5 days worth of growth. But, you know, again, Zingari Man is just awesome. Oh, I forgot to use the PA cube. But Zingari Man is just awesome too, so like, I probably could not have picked a better soap to do this with. Sometimes I have trouble gauging my favorite soap bases, just because I feel like the top elite ones, they're so similar that it's often hard for me to really say which one I like of them. especially when you're talking about like a top 1, 3, or 5. You know, like Declaration Grooming compared to Zingari Man, they're both exceptional. Like they're both elite slickness. Both have great post shave. God, that feels so. It just feels so good. You know, this is why I like being a head shaver. I don't know. It feels so good knocking all that hair off my head, and it's just so much less maintenance, man. Definitely felt a little bit of harshness at the crown, which doesn't surprise me because the crown of my head, I have like a cowlick, so it kind of grows in a weird circular direction in every direction. So when you cut that, there's no going with the grain. It's like every hair on the crown of my head right there just goes in different directions. So like there's like no with the grain on that one. So of course it's, you know, when I have longer hair and I don't cut my head for a while, it's going to be a little harsh no matter what razor I use, because, you know, you get 3 or 4 days worth of growth and you're trying to go against the grain for the first pass. It's going to be harsh no matter how nice the blade is, no matter how nice the soap is. Damn, you know what I should do? I've been thinking about doing it, and that's why I've been wanting to grow out my hair. I've been thinking about growing out my hair to do like a mohawk. Maybe I should just do like a little mohawk. I could do that when I shave. Maybe I'll try that next time. And I still, like I said, I still have that scab. It's like right here. So I'm going to try to shave around it, because I'm not sure if I trust shaving over it yet. Yeah, and I've done that in the past with cuts and stuff. I can just shave right over them and no issues. But this one is kind of, the scab is a little higher. It's not real flat. So I feel like I do need to be a little bit more cautious of that. And then what I'm thinking about doing is maybe just using my beard groomer with no guard and go over that. See how that works. All right. First pass. Oh. And we do have some missing spots here and there. It's to be expected, folks. Going straight back into it. And I'm going back to the puck. Just grab a little bit more soap. Dip those tips. Sego can definitely take some water too. Just like most elite soap bases that I like can. But kind of going back to that is, yeah, like, you know, which one do I like more? Declaration Grooming soap base or Zingari Man? I like them both. It would be really hard for me to say which one I like better. You know, it's kind of like McDuff's. Love, love, love McDuff soap base. I think it's elite soap base. The only big complaint I have is I'm a tub loader, and his base is so soft that either you load way too much when you tub load, or it just gets really weird because it's a really gooey consistency. So it would be nice if the base was a little harder, but I love the performance of it. I love how easily it comes together. I love how slick it is. I love the post-shave feel of it. A&E K2E, same thing, elite to me, one of my tops. But see, right there, that's four, right? Which one is number one? Which one's number two? Which one's number three? Which one's number four? I couldn't tell you. You know, grooming department, now Aeon Skincare. I know he has different bases. I'm not sure which is the one I prefer. I'd have to look at the tubs back there. But again, phenomenal. Phenomenal soap base. This pass, I am going across the grain. I probably honestly should have did another pass with the grain just to really catch all of those patchy spots. But I figure this is such a decent razor with it being such low blade feel and it being fairly efficient. And Zingari Man just nailing the soap base on this, that I could kind of get away with going straight to across the grain. So that's why I really do have trouble saying like, hey, Zingari Man's the best soap base versus Declaration Grooming, because like when you get into that exceptional category, I feel like it's really hard for me to dictate which ones are the best. Now, I can say that it's easy for me to tell the difference between a exceptional soap base, a good soap base, and like below, right? So a good soap base to me is something like PAA, right? I love the density of PAA soap. I love how fast it comes together. I love how easy it is to load, how easy it is to create a really good lather with it. The slickness is fairly decent. It's not the best. Last use for this razor blade. But yeah, the slickness is not exceptional on the PAA, and either is the post. And I already know, like, you know, some people are like, well, that's why you have a post-shave product. I get it. But again, if I have to have a post-shave product, your soap base is an elite to me, right? Now, I do enjoy a post-shave product even if your soap base is elite, because I enjoy what that aftershave kind of brings to the table. You know, sometimes it changes up the scent a little bit from the soap. Other times it just is more strong, right? So if a soap is like a 4 or a 5, by using that splash, it's going to sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of times, it's going to kick up that scent strength to a 5, 6, where I like it to be. I like my soap scents to be, honestly, like 6 to like, not, I mean, if I can get a 10 and it not burn my skin, I'm all for it. But like I usually would say like 6 to 8 is where I like my soap scents strength to be. Need a little bit more water. And we're going right into the third round. And by the looks of it, this will be my last round. I usually don't do cleanups. I'm usually like a 3-pass done type of person. You know, sometimes with like a beard cleanup, I'll only do like 2 passes, and then I might do like a little bit of a cleanup. But for the most part, I have found that when I do 3 passes on my face or my head, I usually get everything. Like when I do once with the green, once across the green, and once maybe like a hybrid kind of against, but across again, I tend to get all the hair. I don't know if you guys can catch that, but it's still knocking down some growth going against the green in the back. Man, I can't tell you how good this feels, to be honest. I'm guessing, like, you know, other guys realize that too that are just face shavers. Like, you know, when you let your beard grow out for 3 or 4 days and then you cut all that hair off for the first time in those 3 to 4 days, how good it feels. Hmm. And crossed slash against on the opposite side. And that, my friends, that's a fucking BBS. Let's clean off that razor a little bit. Let's get some water on the dome. Re-engage that neck to get the rest of that soap that I left on there. Get the towel going. Oh, that feels so good, people. Whew. But yeah, see it? That's the little scab still. Looks kind of weird because it's like, I don't know, it looks like I have like a little spot of poop on my head or like a booger, but whatever. And man, like, just going from that hair, little bit of hair I had on my head to this, I already think looks so much better with the shorter facial hair. It's crazy how like the head on your hair and your facial hair can completely change a guy's looks to me. It's insane. But that's pretty good, I think, guys. And again, that was with like a pretty used up Gillette Nacet. It had like 4, maybe, I don't know, 3 to 5 uses. Oh yeah. Getting that on the neck. And I'm gonna put some. Now what's crazy is today's Thursday. I don't know if I said that in the beginning of the video or not. I do have a doctor's appointment later today. It's kind of late in the day for a doctor's appointment, but it's at 3 in the afternoon. It's before lunchtime right now, and I still have to run today. I haven't did my run yet, and I always feel like it's weird when I shave and then go work out, because then I got to shower. And the reason I guess I kind of feel like that's weird is because I feel like, you know, you have this beautiful splash scent on you, and then you're just going to sweat it off to get in the shower. So I'm like, oh, it's kind of sad that I'm not going to have the scent on me anymore. But, like I said, I do have the matching EDP. So I can always just spray some of that on me after the shower. And I don't know, do any of you guys ever put a little alcohol splash, you know, or non-alcohol splash, any of your splashes on, like, after the shower? I don't know, sometimes I do that, like, after I get out of the shower and you know, I washed my face in the shower and my head or whatever. Sometimes I put a little of the alcohol splash that I used that day after the shower just to kind of re-get that scent, close up those pores a little bit. I don't know if that's good for you or not, but I enjoy it. So let's do a recap. Today we used Zingari Man #1 by Byron Perfumery. Great perfumed rose scent. I would give it a 5-6 out of 10. I wish it was a little stronger, but it's still really good. We had the matching splash. We did use the Diamondback Ti from Paradigm. The Gillette Nacet in it, like, again, like 3 to 5. I need to get better at tracking how many times I've used some of my blades. That will be its last use, though. We did use this decoration grooming B15 in this beautiful somber pour. It's like a gold with like blue hues. Really pretty pour. Great knot. Love B15 knot. I know a lot of people don't. There is some black hairs in B15. This one, it doesn't really have hardly any. Like, I don't even know if I can see any in it, to be honest. But my other B15s, they do have some black hairs in them. And that's it. So we did a quick cleanup of the neck. We raised the hairline, I guess you would call it, right? Neckline a little bit up, which I think looks way better. I'll give it another day or two to decide if I want to keep it there or raise it more. I still haven't done anything with the lineup on the cheeks. I need to figure that out. Again, how I want to do it. Just because I think you can tell, like, this is natural. And this one definitely grows a little higher right here, where this one has kind of a natural diagonal. This one more goes here instead of diagonal. So maybe I just need to cut a little bit of this off, but I might have a barber do it and then follow their lines. And we cut about, I don't know, man, like I think it's like 4 or 5 days worth of growth on the top of my head and 3 passes. And it did it with quite easily. Kind of shows you again how good this Diamondback Ti razor is and how good Zingari Man Sego base really is. Appreciate you guys coming along. I know this was maybe a little bit longer of a video, but probably about average for what I put out there. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.